Thank you everybody for joining us today. We'll make a start. Thank you and welcome to the graduate panel discussion. My name is Susanna and I'm Careers Advisor for Monash University Foundation Year. I'm also your host today and I'd like to start by introducing and welcoming our graduate panel members who are all successful Foundation Year graduates. Let's make a start. Our first graduate is Sonia Wan from China. Sonia completed the Foundation Year program in 2019. She then went on to complete a Monash College Diploma of Business in 2020 and is now undertaking an undergraduate double degree in Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Business at Monash University. Sonia is pursuing a career as a secondary school teacher when she graduates. Outside of her studies, Sonia is passionate about reading and dancing. She also volunteers as a teacher to help underprivileged students in the suburbs. Next, we have Omar Alblushi from the United Arab Emirates, who completed Foundation Year program in 2020. Omar is now first year Bachelor of Biomedical Science student at Monash University. Omar was also active in the Mindfulness Club when he was studying at Monash College. He enjoys oil painting and intends to pursue a career in medicine when he graduates. We are also joined by Adeline Gendra. Adeline came to Melbourne as an international student from Indonesia. She completed the Foundation Year program in 2018 and is now a final year student completing the Bachelor of Computer Science at Monash University. At Monash College, Adeline participated in volunteering activities with Save the Children. At Monash University, she is currently the president of the Indonesian Student Association. Adeline has completed an internship with Tokopedia, an e-commerce company that pioneers digital transformation in Indonesia. She sees herself pursuing a career working in an e-commerce or consulting company when she graduates. And finally, we have Richard Poe, who's from Singapore. Richard completed the Foundation Year program in 2018 and is now in his third year in the Bachelor of Physiotherapy at Monash University. While studying at Monash College, Richard was actively involved in peer mentoring. His keen interest has led him to continue his involvement as a peer mentor at Monash University. He is also passionate about healthcare and he has worked as an allied health assistant. When Richard graduates, he is keen to pursue a career as a rehabilitation physiotherapist. So welcome to all of our panel members and thank you for being part of this session. Shortly, I'll ask our graduates a series of questions and then we'll open the floor for audience questions. The first question is for Sonia. Sonia, please tell us why you chose to study at Monash College and share some of the highlights of your student journey.
Yes, thanks for your asking in the first place and nice to see you guys all in this session. So firstly, I think Monash College have a flexible course selection for students to choose the subject they are interested in. And also instead of academic course, I think the college also offer many extracurricular activities such as club or society, which attract me a lot, such as cooking, music, or cultural exchange club. It's good to relax student pressure and provide a plan for them to make friends in that activity. So take my personal experience as an example. In the cultural exchange club, I learned the different costume of other countries and share special living habits with other classmates, which is a really good experience for me.
Thanks, Sonia. It's great to see that you got involved in a lot of activities. The next question is for Omar. Omar, what were some of your favourite experiences at the college and how did you connect with your classmates and make friends?
Hi, everyone. It's good to see all of you here. Definitely one of my favorite experiences at Monash College and also the university is interacting with students. Because Monash College was very diverse in students, so we had a lot of international students. So that gave me the opportunity to just meet everyone literally around the world. So that was one of my favorite experiences at the college. And to me, it's all about experiences. College is not only about academics, it's also about finding who you really are. So to me, it was all about the experiences, and I really worked hard to get the full college/university experience. Meeting and interacting with students fulfilled that. It fulfilled that idea for me. So interacting with students was definitely one of the greatest experiences that I got at college. And a tip that I'd always had to have friends or interacting with people, I was not afraid to always start the conversation. And that made me really social at the college, and it gave me the opportunity to just interact and be there and live the moment. So that was one of my favorite experiences while I was onshore, and also offshore. I interacted with all students via Zoom and everything. So it wasn't really different.
Thanks, Omar. The next question is for Adeline. Adeline, as you were active in student associations, clubs and societies, having done volunteering activities such as work with Save the Children, and now being president of the Indonesian Student Association at the university, can you please share your experiences with us? What did you enjoy most about being involved in those activities?
Hi, everyone.
I think you're on mute.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, that happens to
Everyone. Thank you, Susanna, for your question. It's glad to see you all. I guess from volunteering experience, I just find that there's something new journey that you can start, especially back in my hometown. It's very hard to find volunteering activities, and Monash College has given me opportunity for me to join the volunteering opportunities. And one thing that I really enjoy in volunteering is that first you get to help someone, and then you can make friends, and you can even volunteer with your friends. And that's the best thing that I like. Thank you.
Thank you, Adeline. Could I just ask once again, could you please make sure that your microphone is on mute so that Ziyi, I think you're not on mute at the moment. If you could just mute, that would be really appreciated. Thank you. Let's go to Richard. Now, Richard, what were your favourite moments at Monash College, and how has the foundation year program prepared you in pursuing your Bachelor of Physiotherapy at Monash University?
Hello. So as what Omar has said, one of my best memories actually was the cultural exchange program. So this is actually organized by the student engagement team. And this program actually aims to promote diversity and bridging different cultures together, which is honestly a very, very rare experience for many people who only get to live in their own country and study at home country. So for someone who managed to study overseas, this is something I'm really, really appreciative of. And it's something to help you to appreciate and understand each other's culture better. At Monash College, there's a lot of subjects you can choose from, quite actually a large variety of it. And these various subjects at Monash College actually give you multiple opportunities to write essays, science reports, presentation, or engage in group work, many of which are expected of you when you're in university. English, for instance, which is a compulsory subject at Monash College, teaches you research and referencing skills, two particular skills that are highly necessary for your survivor university.
Thanks very much, Richard. You're also actively involved in peer mentoring, both at the college and at the university. Can you please share your experiences with us? Now, what sort of skills and knowledge did you gain from that peer mentoring experience that you had?
So peer mentoring at Monash College and peer mentoring at Monash University is actually two very unique experiences in itself. At Monash College, peer mentoring was a lot more about guiding other students through a specific subject, and you're normally recruited based on your performance. So normally these peer mentors actually are very strong in the subject they're teaching, and it hones your ability to communicate. And this is especially so when you have to explain terms and concepts to others, many of which they're either weak in the subject and many of which English is not the first language. So it actually really trains you to know how to communicate to other people. So for me in particular, as a healthcare profession, when I have to educate patients, such a skill is actually highly transferable. At Monash University, on the other hand, peer mentoring is a lot more different. It's about guiding new students to navigate their way through first year. And it's helping them to understand their expectations within the course, to knowing where to seek academic help, to knowing contact details of various supervisors, tutors, or unit coordinators if they actually need some help from there or they have some issues they faced. And it actually trains your leadership and people skill to interact and lead others. This is so within my course where we are not just a small part. We are not just a small gear within a big box. All of us play a really big role, and every of us has the opportunity to lead. And this is such a skill, and I managed to hone it during my time in Monash Uni.
Thanks, Richard. It's interesting to see the difference between the two mentoring programs. Let's go back to Sonia. Sonia, having completed the foundation year program and also the Diploma of Business, please share with us the key advantages of taking both programs and how did these pathway programs prepare you for Monash University?
Yeah, for sure. From my perspective, Monash College provided a good connection for students, especially international students such like me, to learn how the Australia curriculum working. So it's totally different compared to my home country education system. So I think it's good connection during the Monash College program. And also in the college journey, I really enjoy and appreciate the experience because there are so many support services for the student, such as a career advisor like Susanna, and also the peer mentoring like Richard mentioned about. You can, if you have any specific unique issue, you can discuss with your peer and find out the process and the solution. So this support gave me a clear guidance and confidence to enter the Monash University.
Thanks, Sonia. One other question, Sonia. What activities did you take part in that you feel helped you with transition to Monash University?
Yeah, that's a good question because I was participate to be the student leader in Monash College during my diploma program. It's useful for me to gain some skills such as communication skill, how to talk with my peers, talk with teachers and the organization and the leadership, etc. This skill helped me a lot when I become education ambassador in university currently to organize or participate in so many events that throughout.
Yeah. Fantastic, Sonia. Great to see that you're very active in participating. Let's move on to the next question. Omar, what student services and transition activities did you engage in while you were studying at Monash College that you feel helped you prepare for your transition to Monash University?
Thank you for your question, Susanna. One of my favorite student services that actually helped me a lot whilst being at the college, and it helped me through my transition to the university, was student counseling. While I was at the college, I was dealing with a lot of homesickness and I started missing a lot of people, and I did not know how to deal with all those new flush of emotions. At the college, they had a lot of professional psychologists who guided me all the way towards the end of the year. Even though we got back home because of the COVID situation and the pandemic, they were still there to guide me. And this is why participating in the mindfulness club was such a great idea to me, because there was a lot of guidance and it really helped me throughout the way. Another student services that was available was going to the careers advisor, yours truly, Susanna Kennedy. She really helped me and guided me and supported me all the way. And I really wouldn't be in my degree right now if it wasn't for her help. And there's another student services that didn't actually help me transitioning to Monash University, but it was actually the lost and found services at the college, because the amounts of time that I lost my apartment keys at the college, it's just ridiculous. And I always just end up like running back to the college and ask for my apartment keys, and like they go like, there you go, because they always know it's me who lost the keys. So yeah, these services, they're like the pillar of support to me.
Thanks, Omar. And it's worth emphasising the point that we have student councils at the college that are definitely there to support you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to the student councillors if you feel there is a need to. So thank you for sharing that experience with us, Omar. Also, Omar, I'd like to ask you another question. As you're currently pursuing a biomedical science degree at the university, what advice would you like to share with our students who wish to follow your footsteps, and what sort of career options are available to biomedical science graduates?
So the biomedical degree is very dense in regards to what material they give you, but I'm pretty sure if you got through Monash College, then there's no way that you wouldn't be able to get through any degree, to be honest, at Monash University. So my advice is that you really have to be focused, and not only that, you really have to be passionate in whatever degree you're in, not just biomedical sciences, because that will really help you get through any stress or any difficulties that you go through throughout the semester. I actually went for the biomedical degree because it gave me a lot of opportunities. As soon as I graduate, I have a lot of opportunities to work at different areas. So I know that I want to pursue a career in medicine, but let's say I change that towards the end. I can have a degree as a medical researcher, for an example. I can have a career in forensic sciences. I can have a career to be a teacher, for example. So this is why I chose to study biomedical sciences, because it gives you a lot of opportunities later on to pursue careers in many areas.
Great advice, Omar, and that's the beauty of doing a degree like yours. You've got many graduate opportunities at the end of the degree. Thank you. Sonia, while we're discussing career options, what career path do you intend to follow upon graduation? And so I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, so before I study education major, to be honestly, I was just simply attracted by the teacher professional welfare, such as a stable salary, like summer, winter holiday, etc. But after studying this major 2 years in university and have internship, I found I may have the deeper understanding of teacher is not only depending on this welfare. So in my research, I found many schools around the world consider student with high grade is good to be good, excellent with this title, but actually they ignore the student thinking process. So I'm considering as a teacher perspective, so I will change my teaching model in the future to develop my student ability to think instead of only focus on the correct answers. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sonia. Adeline, how did the knowledge, experience and skills that you learned from your Monash journey contribute to your internship role at Tokopedia?
So actually, I wanted this job before my Monash University because I just wanted to focus more to my degree in that period of time. But at the same time, I took this internship role was because that I wanted to know what it feels like to study that office-based degree in my university, you know. So because Monash College offer like broad skills, broad subjects that you guys all should know, there was so much variety towards your degree. You can pick another degree aside, like business, IT, biomedical science, education. There was such a lot of degree that you can study, but because I took this internship role, I can actually manage from my knowledge, from my volunteering, and from my experience skills. And that's why I took this internship role.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Adeline. Richard, as you have previously worked as an allied health assistant, please describe your work experience to the audience.
So as an allied health assistant, my job is to be a helping hand for other health professionals and for my clients. And by doing so, I grant clients an independence that was otherwise limited due to their disability. And this involves accompanying them for medical appointments, joining or guiding them through exercises, or even taking them for some leisure event like lawn bowling or swimming, or even just going for a nice brunch at a cafe. Um, and this is something that's actually highly relevant to my course and actually equips me with a lot of skills that's necessary to actually be studying for physio and even when I'm on my placement currently.
Thank you, Richard. Also, what advice would you give to Monash College students if they wish to seek work experience? What were the processes that you undertook to secure the role?
Okay, so once again, at Monash College and Monash University, it's two very different things. At Monash College, the careers thing that is led by Susanna, yours truly, runs resume writing classes occasionally, which is very important when it comes to applying for jobs, as that's usually the first thing employers look at even before they hire someone. At Monash University, it's very different because they often provide job opportunities, such as the Department of Physiotherapy sends out regular emails with job openings that anyone within the course can apply for, and jobs that could be from just being a receptionist at a physio clinic, or being an allied health assistant, or a sports trainer. Sometimes even as a physio assistant itself is also a possibility. And similarly to what Susanna does, Monash University also do help with writing your resume. And lastly, if your particular department should not send out regular emails, there is also the student portal where there are job opportunities that you could actually seek from there and apply for it.
Thanks, Richard. Yes, it's very important to go to these workshops that the college and the university does provide to develop your employability skills. So thanks for sharing that with us. All right, I've got just one more question before we open up the floor to questions. And this question is to Adeline. What advice would you give to Monash College students who are at the start of their journey and are thinking about doing an internship?
I mean, you guys just started your college journey. There's just so much experience that you can gain in that period of time, and like the time is very flexible and you can, you know, experience what you have. And there are so much resources that you can gain from online, offline, and even from Monash College. I volunteered through Monash College, and like what Richard said, there was so many workshops, there's so much resume checking. And I remember I didn't know what is LinkedIn, and Susanna carry on a workshop for LinkedIn, and that has helped me a lot.
Thank you, Adeline. So thank you to Sonia, Omar, Adeline, and Richard for sharing your stories and advice that will help our current and future students set themselves up for success and in their career journey as well. Before I ask you to type in your questions in the chat, one last question to all of our graduates. In one sentence, what is the main tip or advice that you would give to a new student for success in foundation year? So I'll start with Sonia. Sonia, what would be your main tip or advice that you would give in one sentence to a new student starting out at foundation year?
Yeah, the main tip I summarize is that because in the journey you may have faced many failure or mistake. So my advice will be don't be afraid of failure. Mistakes are good thing. Learn from them and become better of yourself.
Great advice. Thank you, Sonia. Omar, we'll go to you next. In one sentence, what would be your tip or advice to our new students?
Be ambitious, determined, and persistent, and maintain that social balance and academic balance at the college. It is not all about academics. It's all about the experiences, and it's all about developing and growing yourself. So that would be like the best advice that I could give all of you.
Excellent. Thank you, Omar. Adeline, what would be your one sentence in terms of giving tips or advice to our new students?
Don't underestimate yourself. There's so much capabilities that you might be surprised what you can have.
Great. Yeah, never be afraid to try. And so what if you do fail and you learn from your experiences and you move on? So I think that's a good message to give to everybody. And finally, Richard, what would be your one sentence that you would like to communicate to the audience in terms of tips, advice that you would like to give?
Stay focused, stay hungry, stay chatty, stay curious, and most importantly, stay happy.
I love it. All right, terrific. Thank you so much, graduates. Wonderful note to finish on. Great advice, great tips to everybody. So what I'm going to do now is open the floor to the audience. If you would like to ask a question or make a comment, please have a look at the chat box at the bottom of your screen and type away. So we would love to read your comments or see your questions, and I'll read out the questions. If you would like to direct a question to a particular graduate, just type that graduate's name in the chat box and I can direct that question to that particular graduate, or we can ask the question in general of all of our 4 graduates. So does anyone have a question or a comment? Okay, so Melanie, who's the Director of Student Services, I'm going to read out her lovely comment to our audience. She's actually said, thank you so much for sharing your experiences, Adeline, Omar, Sonia and Richard. Thoroughly enjoyed hearing them. I'm interested to know if your experience in being involved with student engagement and student services was impacted by moving to virtual study. So I'm going to open up that question to all of you. Did any of you finish off your studies in the virtual space? So I believe, Omar, you probably did. Would you like to comment?
To be honest, while I was back home, it was confusing to all of us actually. But towards the end of the foundation year, I was just amazed by how used I got to the entire situation. At a certain point, it felt like I was still at the college because I was still interacting with all the teachers and all the students. Particularly with student engagement and student services, it was not that impacted. The only difference was that I couldn't access student counseling because we were in a virtual situation, but still that didn't mean that I lost all connections to my counselor. We always interacted via email, and she always sent me a lot of tips and a lot of advice to follow throughout the week, and she always used to check up on me, so it wasn't that much of an impact. Also, the student services, it was not impacted at all. I still had all the services available to me and all the support and all the encouragement to just finish my Monash College and then transition to Monash University.
Thanks very much, Omar, for sharing that with us. So that's from a Monash College perspective. The other students, I don't believe would have been at Monash College when we went into that virtual space. If I'm incorrect, please correct me now. Could I ask the others, how did you feel it's been in the virtual learning environment with your university studies? Would anyone like to comment? Richard?
Yeah, I could go for it. I was lucky because the course I'm doing, which is physio, I have a very strong social support between my friends and also from the tutors. My tutors try to make it as candid as possible with the situation. We get regular email updates, and often we get week by week updates of what's happening in terms of how is what's happening with lockdown. Will there be any changes? Will there be any improvement to the situation? So because of that, it has been actually really helpful and very informative from the tutors. And the strong social support I have means I get regular Zoom studying sessions. I get to actually do group works with my friends, and that actually make it a lot much more bearable and easier for me during lockdown.
Great, thank you, Richard. Would the others like to share what their experiences have been in the online learning environment?
Yeah, sure. In the university, because I done virtual studying for both Monash College and Monash University. So I think in the first place, virtual space is very tough time for all of students, including domestic or international. So I think college provide a lot of support for that, such as student engagement team. I remember when I was host the cultural exchange club, the one important problem issue happening in that club is no one turn on their camera on that session. So it's a little bit awkward. But after that, we have Amigo, which is social network for all the students to make friends on that, such like similar like Facebook, I think. Also in the university, we have Facebook group for particularly major students to make friends on that. Yeah, I think it's supportive for that.
Yeah, terrific points, Sonia. Yes, new students, please get involved in Amigo. It's great to use that platform to make friends. And your point about turning your camera on. So when new students, when you start your classes or when you're involved in events on Zoom, it's so nice to put a face to a name. So please turn on your cameras. Don't leave them off because we are all in the same classroom or room as we are now. And as I said, it's just so nice to see your face when we're communicating with each other. All right, are there any other comments or any other questions that anyone would like to ask from the audience? Please type them in the chat box. Okay, I might just ask our graduates, are there any final points, Sonia, Omar, Adeline, Richard, that you would like to make before we close this meeting?
Yeah, sure. I can start first because from my situation, I heard a lot of my friends talk to me when they starting in the middle of their learning journey. They say their major is not chosen by themselves. They are influenced by their parents or teacher, etc., others people. So I want to give this new student advice. Be yourself, choose the major you are interested in, you are passionate about, and then you can exist for the future long term to studying in your journey. Yeah,
and that's so important, Sonia. It's important to study what interests you, and even although when you go into your destination degree you might not 100% know that that's the right degree for you, but you're not going to know until you try. And there's always flexibility. If you find that the degree is not quite what you expected, you can do an internal transfer. So always have the conversation with your faculty if you do want to look at possibly changing your degree, and it is possible. All right, I can see a comment there in the chat. Thank you for sharing your advices. We appreciate that. Thank you very much for the comment. All right, so if you do have any questions after this session related to your journey at Monash College, please be aware that I'm here to help you. So Terence has kindly put the careers email address in the chat box. So please contact me at any time during your Monash College journey, and I'd love to hear from you and love to support you and work with you in helping you be successful at foundation year and transition to the university. So one of the teachers, Mary, thank you for that lovely comment. Very proud of you all, and I'm sure that's directed at our wonderful graduates. All the very best for the future. Thank you so much, Mary. All right, so final comment. I'd like to sincerely thank our 4 graduates for providing the time to share their experiences and give us some wonderful advice and tips about how to be successful at Monash College and at Monash University. So thank you very much, Richard, Sonia, Omar and Adeline. We've very much enjoyed having you here today. And I would like to, at this stage, thank you very, very much for all participating in today's session. And I would like to now close this panel discussion and wish you all a very good day or a very good night, depending on where you are in the world. So thank you very much, and bye, everybody.